box, so I didn't know whether you
It's what would be anticipated from my standpoint. Number one, as he correctly points out, this is a topic that hasn't been visited for more than a century. It's a different world today. It could well be a different result. And the other thing is this confirms what I could never get them to admit. They had an offer on the table to the citizens to respond by today. They've responded.
Right.
Estoppel is the issue. They depended upon the letter they got. So before we ever get to this discussion, there's a discussion having to do with the question of good faith, integrity, those kinds of things. You give me an offer until the 21st, and I rely on it. You're stuck with it.
So you're going to be there Monday?
Well,
representing this?
Well, with Bell's on.
Because I'm sure that's
I'll try to coordinate with your consul, but
well, Mike will be back.
Yeah, he said he would, but he said he'd be occupied all morning, so wouldn't have much of an opportunity to come up to speed before your meeting.
Yeah, because he's in a drainage board meeting in the morning.
Line overhead.
I like your mind to kind of
Summarize it. I think we kind of needed that a little bit.
Because I think we can get bogged down on the legality, but people want to know exactly what you just said. The court's going to go with the people.
Right.
Peters. Peterson.
That is, well, it'll be good. Well, K-I-R-K.
I like the other day.
I'm going to have to talk to a couple of people here.
Yeah, that's real good.
I think we have your stuff.
That's good. We're good. You have to have some wide, but it's effectively what it is.
However, Stu Easley, S-T-U-A-R-T, E-A-S-L-E-Y, Fisherstown Council. We're here today for the most part of all sort of fisheries. They seem to have their own plans. Well, I can respect it if I thought it was a very sincere effort to incorporate. Over the last, the town withdrew our involuntary annexation ordinance some months ago in consultation with the DUO because the request was we want to have an open dialogue, and that's really what I was engaged in over the last couple of months. Overwhelmingly, the message was not met with great welcomeness, if you will. The biggest concern was about the property tax, for what services would they get, because they already were happy with the services that they were receiving from the county. And so we listened to that, and we certainly had a different argument about forming a greater community, unifying the area. The town officials completely encircled this area, and there's a great benefit for unifying the town and for unifying in equity around service delivery. We heard today about some variety of services that would be provided, and this debate between two choices, and I think that's an excellent thing for the individual property owners to weigh. Do they want services from the town officials that they can rely upon, audit and respect, and understand what we've been doing for the last many years? Internationally accredited fire department, internationally accredited police department, wastewater service collection and treatment beyond compare, good planning and zoning, parks and recreation. Look at that compared to what the offer is on the surface that we've seen, and that is forming a town sort of on the cheap, still getting sewer protection, surface sewer provided by the town, officials looking to get their public service provided by the county. My tax dollars go to the county. Undoubtedly, the county will be underwriting. I think the county commissioners' constituencies will be understanding why should the county underwrite individual municipalities. I think town officials, Carmel, Nobles, Centerville, Westfield will all be coming to the county commissioners saying, well, if you're doing this for one, you should do it for all. You know, that old Lay's potato chip commercial. You know, I think they just want to give one and no more for anyone else. And the other thing about the Castleton Fire Department, last I heard, the Castleton Fire Department is going to be a long way getting out to Geist. It's some years before they can even build a new facility. And so do you want that fire truck coming to you on a volunteer basis? Are they going to be in the shops at their business, getting a call? I'd like to know what their run times are going to be. And on a volunteer fire department, I'd like for these citizens to compare their homeowners' insurance rate. Please contact your insurance agent to find out for a volunteer service coming from some 5-6 miles away. Where is that? What's my rate going to be on my homeowner? So all of these things, if it's an equitable issue of fairness, compare one offer to the other, I think the Fisher's offer will shine greatly in these comparisons.
Well, taxation is the major issue, which you seem to think, or they think it is.
Right.
Will they be able to save money? The economics they're talking about, will they be able to save that kind of money?
Anyone can put a plan together, and I'd be interested to examine their fiscal plan if they offered one in their petition. And I think what every citizen needs to do is compare line by line. What is the level of service being provided for the amount of money delivered, and compare. If they're getting no services and still paying the 10% more, getting the exact services they're getting today, underwritten by the county with the overhead, by the county police, county sheriff, and the county road, underwriting that, I have questions from Commissioner Dillinger about why he would be supporting that effort, and we'll have that discussion a little later. The sewer, who's going to treat their sewage? Right now, the town of Fishers treats their sewage. Certainly, if they were their own municipality, I wonder where they're going to, when they flush their toilets, when they're a town, where do they think it's going to go?
The lake.
Mr. Easley, what about the ordinances? Those letters were due back today, the offer for water and sewer.
Certainly.
Where do you introduced those ordinances this week? What do you do after today? Because I think as of Monday, you had 11 responses. What do you do now?
One of our council members, Dan Henke, had inquired that Monday about how much response we had had. We had given to the 21st, as in any kind of communication, you want to communicate to people when you'd expect to hear back. What I've told everyone is the offer is on the table, it's still on the table. We are still out there meeting. I'm meeting with a neighborhood this Sunday evening who called me up this past week and said, I'm sorry, we were busy when you had your meetings over the last 6 weeks and we couldn't all get there. Can you come again? I said, sure, I'll be there, no problem. And so the issue here is the offer is on the table, it continues to be on the table, and we will continue to have negotiations and discussions with anyone who wishes to come forward.
Is there any way the town officials would just back down and say that we are no longer interested in this area?
I think we would be looking at the two comparative issues here. If they can form a municipality and provide all the requisite services and not be a burden on the town of Fishers, then they're entitled to do that. I think it's a false card, a delayed card, a card of delay at all costs. If you go back and look at the public record of the GO board members, their comments have been fight, delay. I think what we've heard today from the lawyer from the GO is nothing but a continued tactic for delay. They thought they could get into this position and block us, but I think that is clearly not the case. I think the legal arguments that our lawyers have been saying, one lawyer here, I'm not a lawyer, but a case that is 100 years old usually stands as being settled law. Not something that is old and archaic, but something that is long and standing and that the society has endorsed time and time again. That it's 100 years old, I think, great. That's even more powerful. So I think these are the key considerations. I think the town of Fishers is open to negotiations and discussions, and has always been and will continue to be.
What concerns do you have about the existing agreements that you have, the ongoing discussions, and how this might affect that, these requests for incorporation?
Yes, some of the neighborhoods have entered into pre-annexation agreements. I would expect that they would be respected within this context. To the extent that the filing has incorporated them, I think that they would have to have a discussion with those neighborhoods and see what is in the best interest of those neighborhoods. They have chosen to enter into the town of Fishers because we can provide them with excellent water and sewer service. And the opportunity to obtain that at a very low cost has been very encouraging to them, and they have come and said, we want this deal. I'm sorry, how many neighborhoods altogether? 2 have signed, and we're continuing to have negotiations. Thank you.